and welcome to the Dr. Ona Show. Our topic of discussion for today is being strategic. What does being strategic mean? It means having a strategy so that we can effectively engage, interact, handle, process, and take in those things that we encounter on a daily basis when we're dealing with people, organizations, or just life in general. So today we're going to talk about 4 points that will help us be strategic. So number 1, being strategic means facing challenges so they don't become obstacles. That's number 1. Facing challenges so they do not become obstacles. And yes, we love to sometimes dismiss or sometimes sit to the side, sometimes abandon or neglect certain things because we don't want to face them, or we might be too busy facing them, or because we just think that they're not relevant or important at the time. But if we want to be strategic, one of the main strategies we must have is facing those challenges so they do not become obstacles. Number 2, being strategic is having a strategy where we are intentional about what we say and do to provoke change, transformation, greater and betterment. We always want to have a strategy that is going to enhance us, that is going to cause us to grow, that is going to cause us to advance and elevate in our thinking, in our physical being, in our spiritual being, in our mental capacity. We want to always have a strategy in place where we are growing and expanding. That's being strategic. And number 3, we must have a strategy to set those boundaries so that we will not feel or be confined or restricted or contained into, a certain area, a group, a status, any of those things. We don't want to be constrained in our minds, in our spirits, in our bodies, in tradition. We don't want to be constrained in our thinking, the way we handle or accept or deal with people or relate. Number 3. Number 4. Being strategic is having a strategy to where we are responsible and accountable for what we have in our hands, what we've been assigned, what we've been given to do, how we are going to be responsible and accountable for our purpose, our goals, our dreams, our strategies, for implementing things. We want to be accountable and responsible for that. So there's a myth that in order to have a strategy or be strategic, that you have to have this plan in place. And oftentimes when we are being strategic, the plan doesn't work. Because in a plan, we have, the sequential order of 1, 2, 3, the consecutive, order of everything having to fall into place like a domino effect. And that does not always happen. Matter of fact, being strategic is being flexible and pliable, and things might happen in a spontaneous way or unexpected way. And oftentimes we have to make decisions based upon the situation or the circumstance that is happening suddenly. And off of that decision, or should I say the product or the results of that decision, then we have to make another decision, or we have to render another response or reaction. So being strategic is not always about having a plan in place. Being strategic is meaning that we are paying attention, that we are cautious, that we are making sure that we are aware of everything that is going on, and we are taking responsibility for what that is and meeting the challenges head on so they do not become obstacles. So what do we do next to be strategic? Look at our plans. Look at our goals. Look at our vision. Look at our mission. Look at our short-term and long-term goals. Those 1, those 2, those 3, those 5, those 10-year goals. Hold them close, sure. But you want to hold them close but loosely so that you can be pliable and make the necessary changes. We want to be relevant, in our strategies. We want to make sure that we're making the impact that we need to be making. And oftentimes, strategy requires us to make changes that will transform our lives and the lives of others. So today, look at your goals and dreams and make sure that they all line up to being strategic.